What if the person everyone least expects is the one who has the most to gain from a murder shrouded in secrecy and magic? In Season 2, Episode 3 of Sanctuary, A Witch's Tale, everything we thought we knew about who's dangerous, who's innocent, and who's protecting whom gets turned upside down. In this episode, alliances are tested, trust becomes a weapon, and one shocking magical attack forces a betrayal that changes everything. If you thought the witch hunt in Sanctuary was over, think again. Season 2, Episode 3 opens in the uneasy aftermath of Dan's death and the growing mystery surrounding the magical forces at play in Sanctuary. Sarah Fenn, our protagonist, finds herself walking a tightrope between her identity as a witch and her responsibilities as a mother and community healer. The previous episode set the stage with dark magic, accusations against innocent people, and the town's simmering distrust of witches. And now everything comes to a head. At the heart of this episode is suspicion and motive. Sarah and Maggie Knight have discovered something that makes them pause. Angela, someone who outwardly opposes witchcraft, has the most to gain from the murder case they're investigating, not least because her political and social standing could be strengthened by public fear of witches. But suspicion alone isn't enough. They agree they still need solid evidence before they can make any accusations stick. This marks a key turning point. The investigation is no longer just about magic or murder. It's about who stands to benefit from chaos. Meanwhile, tension is rapidly building around Harper, Sarah's daughter. Throughout the series, Harper has been caught between normal teenage struggles and the terrifying possibility of possessing magic she never knew she had. In this episode, that tension erupts violently when Harper becomes the target of a magical attack no one expected. This attack is not just physically dangerous. It drives a wedge between Sarah and Maggie. Faced with an impossible choice, Sarah betrays Maggie to protect Harper. It's one of those gut-wrenching decisions that underscores how far a mother will go when her child's life is on the line, even if it means turning against her closest ally. The attack on Harper doesn't just reveal the dangers lurking beneath Sanctuary's placid surface. It also sends shockwaves through Sarah's personal life. Up until now, we've seen her try to balance her past with her present, often keeping her emotions in check while trying to do what's right. But this episode pushes her into a vulnerable place that turns out to be pivotal for her heart as much as for her mind. In the aftermath of the attack, we witness Sarah rekindling her romance with Lachlan, a relationship we've been curious about since the end of last season. Their reunion brings emotional depth to the episode, showing that love can be a source of strength even in the darkest moments. But what makes this episode truly compelling is not just the plot twists, it's the character development. Sarah's journey has always been about more than solving a mystery. It's about her place in a community that both needs and fears her. The betrayal of Maggie isn't a moment of villainy. It's a complex moral choice that forces the audience to question where loyalty should lie when all paths lead to pain. Maggie, for her part, shows resilience and determination, continuing the investigation while coping with emotional betrayal. In many ways, this episode deepens her character, revealing her grit and the personal cost of pursuing the truth. The episode also questions what justice really means in a world where magic exists alongside human law. Angela's motivations, why she might want the murder to remain unsolved, and what she could achieve by further demonizing witches. Sanctuary becomes a microcosm of how fear can be manipulated, how rumors and suspicion can ruin lives, and how truth is often buried under layers of public narrative and private agendas. Beyond the main storylines, there's an undercurrent in this episode that's hard to ignore: Harper's evolving identity. By becoming the target of a magical assault, she's forced to confront the reality of her power or the danger that others see in her. Her emotional journey from confusion to fear to fierce defiance highlights how the world of Sanctuary doesn't just test witches externally, it tests them internally. Similarly, Sarah's decision to protect her daughter reflects how personal relationships shape the broader narrative of fear, acceptance, and survival in the town. If there's one thing Episode 3 makes clear, it's that Sanctuary is no longer a safe place. Magic is not just a myth or a hidden threat. It's a force that people fear, exploit, and misunderstand. As the investigation deepens, so do the societal divides that separate witches from non-witches. Everything from public perception to private fear is at play, creating a tense atmosphere where every choice carries weight and consequences ripple outward. By ending the episode with Sarah and Lachlan reconnecting, the show gives viewers a moment of emotional relief. But it's also a reminder that relationships can be refuges in troubled times. Their rekindled romance isn't just a subplot. It reinforces the theme that love and connection are what holds Sarah steady, even when the world around her collapses into chaos and distrust. In summary, Sanctuary, A Witch's Tale. Season 2, Episode 3 is a turning point in the series. It tightens the mystery, deepens character conflicts, and raises the stakes on every front: emotional, social, and magical. From Angela's suspicious motives to a devastating magical attack on Harper, to Sarah's betrayal of Maggie, and finally, to the resurgence of her romance with Lachlan. This episode is packed with twists and revelations that will keep your audience glued to the screen. Thank you for watching.